Shohei Ohtani's longtime interpreter, Ippei Mizuhara, was fired yesterday. He's being accused of stealing at least $4.5 million from Shohei Ohtani. ESPN had a story, and then it was scrapped. According to ESPN, the interpreter, Mizuhara, explained in a lengthy interview. They made him available for 90 minutes to Tisha Thompson. He had accumulated these gambling debts. Ohtani then made wire transfers to pay off a bookmaker who's now under federal investigation. Then a spokesman denied the comment shortly after that, and they said that Ohtani's been the victim of massive theft. After Ohtani agreed to pay the debts, the interpreter said on Tuesday, Ohtani logged into his own computer, sent wire transfers under Mizuhara's supervision in installments over several months last year. This according to ESPN. On Wednesday, Mizuhara changed his story, telling ESPN Ohtani didn't transfer the money, paying off his gambling debts, and he had no knowledge of them. ESPN would later verify 2 wire transfers of $500,000 each made by Ohtani. Both had loan in the description and were paid to a bookmaker, Matthew Boyer, who's now currently under federal investigation tied to an alleged illegal gambling operation. The LA Times did a great job investigating this, and now you don't have an interpreter. Can you ask Shohei Ohtani questions after the game in Seoul, South Korea, because his interpreter is not there? Wow. So many questions here. First of all, you make the interpreter available for 90 minutes. This is one of Ohtani's spokespeople who did. Now, you make him available to an investigative reporter. There's already enough fire here to burn down the building. And now you add maybe the most popular athlete in the world in Shohei Ohtani and gambling. Is it tied to his gambling debts? It's from his account. Was there theft? Did he loan the money? Feels like there's 2 different stories going on right now. And Ohtani is playing baseball right now in Seoul, South Korea. Oh, by the way, this is where I need Fritzy to get a hold of the commissioner of Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred. Paulie, why don't you just send an email just so we do our due diligence here to talk to the commissioner, because there are a lot of rules and regulations here. There's a lot of that could fall under the umbrella that Shohei Ohtani is under right now. Was he part of this? Were they his gambling debts? Was the interpreter trying to cover for him? Then it's a theft. Was it a theft? It's a loan. 2 loans, $500,000 here. A lot of questions. Here's Dave Roberts, the Dodger manager, before today's game.
Dave, can you tell us what Ippei told the team in the clubhouse last night?
You know what, Jack, I can't comment on it, man. On that, can't comment.
When was the decision made to have him address the team?
Anything with that, the meeting, can't comment. Sorry.
Were you surprised when you found out he was fired when that happened?
Again, can't say anything. Not going to comment, guys.
With Shohei, obviously, this is a big thing in his life. How has he handled it from what you can tell? Are you worried about it being a distraction with him? Just that part of it. What have you seen so far?
Shohei's ready. He's preparing in a hitter's meeting right now and ready to go for tonight's game.
If he didn't play, then it would have been a bigger story. The interpreter told ESPN on Tuesday that his bets were placed on international soccer, the NBA, the NFL, and college football. He followed up by saying he never bet on baseball. That's 100%. I knew that rule. We have a meeting about that in spring training. He is an employee of the Dodgers, so he is under the same rules and regulations as the players are, or management, or coaches are. Questions. Yeah, Paulie.
According to MLB betting rules, the interpreter, Mizuhara, would be allowed to bet on sports through legal draft websites like DraftKings and so on.
He did place some bets through DraftKings.
Which would be okay. You could bet on other sports if it's above board. But he was betting with allegedly betting with a legal bookmaking operation on all types of sports. There's no accusations of any betting on MLB.
And the illegal bookmaker there was under investigation, and LA Times probably had a paper trail here, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, Shohei Ohtani's name is attached to this. I want to be careful, and I would caution people of speculation, but there are questions that come up here that it doesn't make sense, and that story changed really fast. And I think that's what if I'm a reporter on this, man, I'm going deep. There's something here, and there's a disconnect, and this is your best friend, and he's covering your loans. Then he's not covering your loans, and then Ohtani's a victim here of theft, even though he sent it from his computer. Did the interpreter have access to his computer? We're talking, at least $4.5 million. I don't know about you, but if $4.5 million is missing, I'd probably have a pretty good idea, even if you're Ohtani, unless you decided to pay those gambling debts to help out your interpreter. Yeah, Paul.
24 hours ago, the interpreter Mizuhara was in the dugout with Ohtani joking around and doing his job.
Yeah.
And hours later, he was fired. A lot of people have a problem with the story of, when Mizuhara talks to the media, he said, I bet on sports and Ohtani covered my debts. And then once the law firm for Ohtani got involved, they changed the whole thing, and the statement said, Ohtani has been the victim of theft. It's the exact opposite story.
Yeah, and then ESPN was looking for a statement and asking, did Mizuhara steal? Is it theft? And then the interpreter said that he could not comment. And then he said he can't tell you who told him not to comment. There's a lot of layers here. And if you're Major League Baseball, my initial thought was anybody but him. Calvin Ridley gets suspended for a year. Nobody's missing Calvin Ridley in the NFL. Now, if Patrick Mahomes got suspended, then we'd all care. This is not only a big story here, big star here, it's a worldwide star who just got a $700 million deal. Could he be suspended? If they look at the letter of the law, could he be suspended for a year or longer? Major League Baseball doesn't want this. Nobody wants this. But if it's front and center, and now all of a sudden you got somebody on record and then recanting their story, and it feels like there's, first of all, how do you make this guy available to ESPN for 90 minutes? Crazy. Did you think he was going to clear it up? Did you find out what his story was before he sat down with ESPN? How about some prep questions? Hey, what are you going to say to ESPN? Oh, I'm thinking of saying this. No, don't say that. You would say, I'm guilty of theft. Not Shohei was covering my debts. Now he's involved in this, and there's an illegal bookmaker involved in this who's under federal investigation. Yeah, Paul.
It has a feeling the past 12 hours, just with what we do, is that nobody wants this story to be true, and everyone wants this story to go away. I'm sure, the league, no, they don't want Ohtani down. The Dodgers, everybody, the media. Oh, I looked at MLB's gambling rules, and again, Ohtani is not accused in any way of betting on baseball. If you bet on baseball and you're not fixing a game, you can be down for a year. If you bet on baseball and you're adjusting a game in any way, you're permanently ineligible. But there's some other language in the MLB betting rules. If any player, club official, et cetera, participates with illegal bookmakers, finances, operates, there's vague words, they could also be punished under the MLB rule. And this has a feeling that after what Ohtani's translator initially said, they may have said, this may open the door for that rule to be enacted.
Is there audio of this interpreter talking to ESPN? Is he on camera? Did they record it? I mean, we've asked for it. Paulie reached out to ESPN to say, can we have the audio of this? I would love to hear how, first of all, 90 minutes? I'd have 5 questions for him. I don't need 90 minutes. It's not 60 minutes where Mike Wallace is interrogating you.